Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the stream today. I actually had good timing today, given the market bell opening up just now. But guys, as we know already, the SPY is on an absolute, huge pullback here. This is a crazy drop back to the downside. We gave up all of the gains of the past 2 trading days. So it has been a brutal drop here, all the way back down to around 401 on the SPY. I will say right back down into my support. So we'll have to see if the SPY can maybe hold up here. But overall, though, I'm not too optimistic. We might hold up a little bit, given that we dropped from 414 down to 400. But nonetheless, though, a lot of stocks are moving in a negative direction, which is not good. Like, we have Meta having an insane pullback to the downside. We have Disney moving down. There is a lot of stuff falling off to the downside right now. Obviously, with CPI obviously coming in a little bit hotter than expected. So let's go actually look at the numbers here on the trading economics calendar. And I'll zoom in a lot so we can see it nice and easy here. So you can see the actual number for the inflation rate year over year came in at 8.3%, and they were expecting 8.1%. So that actually came in a little bit hotter than expected. Same thing with the core inflation rate year over year. Same thing, came in a little bit hotter than expected, and that actually beat the previous number, which is not good. I will say also the core rate obviously is up, but the regular headline inflation rate is up 0.1%. The previous number was 0%, and they were expecting a drop of 0.1% instead of an increase. So that's pretty much what's going on, guys. I know a lot of you guys already know a lot about the numbers, but I figured I would go ahead and show them for anybody who did not know. Pretty much, you can see the previous and the actual here on the rates. Obviously, core popped up a little bit more. Whenever I was reading through some of these articles here, there was some pretty good, articles talking about how these numbers are exactly like why these numbers came in the way that they did. And they pretty much showed a bunch of different reasons. One of the biggest things that I saw personally was that some of the stuff in the healthcare industry actually played a big role here. It says costs were driven by increases in food, shelter, and medical care services, offsetting a sharp decline in gas prices, which is interesting because a lot of people were looking at crude oil and they were saying, wow, look at crude oil. It's falling down. Maybe we'll see inflation start to come back to reality. But while that is the case in the oil markets, it's not the case, across the other industries in the market, like the food, like it says here, medical care services, stuff like that obviously is not good. Let's see, it says medical care services rose 0.8% on the month and up 5.6% from August of 2021. That's actually pretty bad. New vehicle prices rose. Again, great. When are people going to quit paying so much for vehicles? I mean, it's got to happen at some point, right? I hope it doesn't, though, because then the price of my Mustang will go down. But I hope it goes higher, actually. But it's okay, though. I'd rather it go down, I think, and the market go up. Wow. But yeah, it talks about gas. It costs food prices. Bread prices rose 2.2%. Eggs surged 2.9%. Canned fruits are up 3.4%. I mean, guys, this is just getting insane, but hey, it's not the worst thing ever, guys, so don't be too upset. Keep in mind that, the market has been ripping back. If we look at the SPY is still recovered up quite well from the low. And I will say, as far as like market movement goes, honestly, this is fairly normal price action. Now, I'm not saying SPY falling down from 415 down to 400 is normal price action, but what I will say is looking at the chart here, I could have expected some type of move back down into some of these support levels. So it's honestly it's not too surprising to see the SPY come back down and retest somewhere down here like 400. And yesterday we actually had a really nice poll here in the chat. You guys actually voted. Some of you voted for the market going back down. Some of you voted for the market going up. The majority, I believe, voted for the market to stay the same, but I know that vote was very mixed and people were thinking a lot of different things yesterday. So Interesting to see where we ended up. But yeah, definitely not a good move here. Back down to around $400. But hey, let me know what stocks you guys are watching today and what you are eyeing up, because there is a lot of discounts right now. I'm really looking at Nvidia, AMD, stocks like that. I feel like could be pretty good. Now, I'm not saying to necessarily pick them up yet, but I feel like over the next couple weeks, these will be some pretty hot ones to look at. Also, I was looking up Disney, Meta, stocks like that. I was really eyeing them up. Unfortunately, I bought some Meta last week, so now it's flying back down on us, which is a-okay, given that I am holding this play for a long, long time. But nonetheless, though, still sucks to see it, you know, rocket down the way it did. But yeah, let me know what stocks you guys are watching to the upside or the downside today, and we will eye those up. Personally, something that I've really been eyeing up lately is TNX and these yields. It has been insane to see TNX moving back up on the daily chart. Mike and myself talked about these in last night's video quite a bit. I looked at the price of TNX. I was looking at DXY and all those different scenarios in the market. So yesterday we actually saw the dollar dipping back down, but with this bad report, the dollar is actually on the move back up once again. But let's see. Elias says, good morning, everyone. I hold my puts 9/23 and I won. Very nice, Elias. Glad to see you won on those puts right there. Let me know what ticker you had the puts on. I probably will remember the play when you let me know the ticker. But yeah, good morning, everybody. Thanks, Mike, Tangi, Keisha, George, Jamie, Bill, Keisha, again, Kenya, the Tangi man, Matt. Yeah, appreciate all you guys, seriously. Matt says Zoom puts are looking nice. Really? Let's go eye it up. Oh, gosh, they do look kind of good, don't they? Yesterday, Zoom was looking okay. Now it's all the way back down around lows again. Definitely a stark contrast to where we started the week this week. This is not the type of move people were looking for. And this does worry me that we might go deeper into some type of recession or some type of drop here. But guys, SPY on the 1 minute is about to break down to new lows, so eye that up. Definitely not good to see here, but it is right down. It's actually making a new low right now. So wow, crazy plays to the downside today, guys. Keisha says, ouch, this drop hurt a little bit. I was expecting a small pullback, but not a big drop. Yeah, I feel you there, Keisha. I wasn't expecting this big of a drop either. Keisha goes, and the way SPY was running up in pre-market, I was expecting a jump off of a porch, not a jump off a cliff. I feel you there, Keisha. That is funny. It is like this thing just took a big nosedive down. It's almost like a plane. It was flying and then it lost. It's like it got shot down. It must have flown over Russia or something. Wow. So Kenya says, where do you see SPY going? Great question, actually. So looking at the SPY here today, that's a big drop down. We're right around $400 even. If the SPY can hold somewhere around $400, that would be awesome. But I don't really think that that's going to end up happening here. So looking at the 1 hour chart, looking at the SPY down to around 400. Let me make a quick drawing. If this is lining up, that'd be nice. Oh, I don't think it is though. Hang on, let's make a quick trend line here. Oh wow, it did kind of line up. So I'm looking at the SPY here, looking at this lower trend line on the SPY. This pink trend line has actually been playing out quite well so far. I would be expecting maybe a move back down somewhere, like I said, towards 400, kind of like where that big support is here on the chart. That would be really nice. But I could honestly see the SPY coming back down to retest 390. I think that could be a pretty good possibility, if not even move a little bit lower on the SPY. I could see a move like that coming in for sure. But what I will say is that, like, whenever you say, where do I see the SPY going? Do you mean today, Kenya, or do you mean over the next couple weeks? Because today might be a totally different story. Today, I'm honestly kind of eyeing up, waiting for a move back up a little bit. It might not ever come today, but I'm looking for some type of intraday move back up at this point. The SPY could keep going down. I just feel like at this point today, playing puts might be a little bit tough. It can obviously play out well, though, but what I will say is we were just down so much this morning. It's pretty rare that the SPY is down that much and continues to seriously break lower, but it can happen. You know, it's happened before. Look back here, back on August 26th, the SPY hit 421 in pre-market and closed the day at 404. That is a much bigger drop than we actually saw today. So it's definitely possible, and we could still see more downwards pressure, but I personally am kind of waiting for the market to kind of stabilize a little bit, start to slow down. I think that would be something more beneficial to look at today than just, you know, looking at puts across the board, given everything's already down just so much. But there are some big stocks breaking supports here, like AMD. Like I talked about before, Nvidia is kind of breaking a little bit lower. But that's just today, though. That's just intraday today. Over the next couple weeks, I could see the SPY going a little bit lower. But just today, I'm kind of eyeing up another intraday move back up, possibly. Now, like I said, I'm not just running into calls. I'm really waiting for some nice stabilization out of the market. Elias, AMD, Square, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Walmart. Let's see, Apple and Microsoft. Those are going to be some big ones, yeah. Yeah, wow, Apple and Microsoft are both down a lot, as expected, given that everything else is down. But yeah, what a crazy morning, guys. Big drops to the downside. Mike Chang says, too late to grab shares of UVXY. You know, it probably is, Mike. I will say, though, if the SPY keeps going down, UVXY will probably keep going up. But here's what I will say about UVXY, Mike, is that if SPY goes down, UVXY is not guaranteed to go up. Now, it usually does. But the issue that I see with UVXY is UVXY will have a lot of pre-market movement, a lot of gap ups, a lot of gap downs, and it won't move quite as correlated with the SPY as I'd want. So, Mike, what I would say, if I were you and you were looking to get something that would go up while the SPY goes down, I would look at SPXS personally. That's what I would prefer to get. And this should do a little bit better. Now, when the market goes up, this thing will start flying back down at a rapid pace. But if the market keeps going down over the next few days, SPXS, I think, could be a really good asset to hold on to. Now, it's just an ETF. Keep that in mind. It's just an ETF, so you have to keep that in mind. It's a 3X Bear ETF that follows the SPY. So it's a pretty volatile stock, just like UVXY, but if the SPY goes consistently back down, this should go consistently back up. And you can see, like, on the last downtrend the SPY had, SPXS went from 1750 all the way up to 2370, which is a pretty big pop out of something like that. But yeah, let's go, Elias. You got them W's there. Can't wait to hear about that position. Elias, did you have puts on all those stocks? There you go. Nice W's there, though. Hell yeah, Keisha. Hype it up. Let's go. Let's go. Nice win there. Tangy Man says, Palantir in free fall. Hey, let's see. PLTR. But yeah, Elias, let me know what kind of puts you were playing there. Were they on the SPY? But yeah, let's see. Tangy says, let me see AMD for $75. Come on, man. I hope we do. That would be crazy if we were back at 75. Be a really nice longer term opportunity there, that's for sure. Wow, big drops down though. Kenya says, I have two expirations, 914 and 919. Both are up 200% on the SPY. Very nice, Kenya. That is really nice. That closer expiration, of course, is going to be pretty tough, so I'd probably let go of that thing pretty soon. But hey, these stocks keep falling down, so let's see how low the SPY can end up today. Looks like we're going to be at least testing 401 again down here. What a crazy day. The Tangy Man says he scooped up another 10 shares of UEC. What is that? UEC. Uranium. Oh, okay. I got you now. Uranium Energy Corp. Nice. Yeah, we've been eyeing this one up a little bit over the past few months. Along with CCJ and UUUU. Yeah, it does suck to see those ones falling down too. Oh, wow, Elias. You have a lot of puts. There you go. Really nice. I didn't realize you meant you had them on all those stocks. Wow. For a second, I kind of was like, is that what he meant? But yeah, that's really nice, Elias. Wow, that is a lot of puts. I'm glad they worked out. Dang. I would have felt bad if those things would have went up on you, Elias. But wow, that is a lot of puts. Elias had AMD puts, Square puts, the Meta puts, Microsoft puts, Apple puts, Walmart puts. That's insane, Elias. Great plays, though. Great plays. Hey, good morning, Hunter. Thanks for joining up. He says, morning, Tommy Tenders. Hey, thanks for joining up, Hunter. Appreciate that. You joined up on a bad day. Hunter, now that you're in here, you better watch out for those bots. You better watch it. They haven't been in here for a couple weeks now. Every time you come, that happens. That is awesome, though. Poor retailers, though, falling back down in a big way. AMD. Hunter's like, this is a great day. Yeah, it's okay. It's an alright day for me. I'm a little upset Meta went down now, but it is what it is. This huge support on Meta needs to hold up, though. Need to see some nice bounces down here. That's funny. Keisha goes, so if we see them, we will know Hunter bought them. That's right. That's right, Keisha. Those bots come for the thighs, you know? That's why they're here, Keisha. Tangy says, this is a great day. Stonk sale. Yeah, that is the good thing about this, guys, is that it is creating better longer-term opportunities for everybody, which is amazing. So that's awesome. I'm glad that some of you guys are looking at it in that sense. That's really good. Better to be optimistic than, all down in the dumps about the market going down a little bit. It going down, though, is definitely going to be a crazy thing in the short term, but it will create a lot of great opportunities, guys. So as always, just don't forget to average in. As long as you guys are averaging in nice and well, you should do pretty well on some of these stocks that are super low, especially over the next year or two. But as we know, of course, this year is going to be absolutely insane with all the inflation data and everything like that coming out. For anybody who didn't know, though, I will go back to the numbers one more time here. So you can see the inflation rates were on the rise pretty much across the board. They came in higher than expected. Right down here at the bottom, the 0.1% number was the actual number on the headline inflation rate. So that was a terrible thing to see with that kind of on the rise from its previous 0% mark. Then, of course, we saw the core rate go up 0.3%, which was brutal. We saw the core year-over-year rate, 0.4% higher. And then we saw the actual inflation rate year-over-year actually come down 0.2%. Although, even though it did come down 0.2% there, it was still higher than the consensus and the forecast, which is pretty negative. So, across the board, bad numbers there for anybody who didn't see. Now, I want to show you guys this chart here, because this chart is going to show you what percentage that the market is pricing in, pretty much what percentage rate hike we're going to see. So we're going to see something like if we see another 0.75% rate hike or 75 basis point increase again, right now they're pricing in 92%. Keep in mind, though, these numbers that I'm showing you here on the chart are from yesterday. I have not refreshed the page. I'm going to refresh the page in about 20 seconds or so, but I wanted to show you this because whenever I refresh this, these numbers are going to change, and I would expect the 92% number to go higher, probably 99%, or we're even going to see the numbers flip-flop, and we might even see a percentage increase for a 100 basis point. So here we go. We're going to refresh the page here, and yes, that is the case, guys. So now they are pricing in an 82% chance of a 75 basis point increase and an 18% chance of a 100 basis point increase. So just keep that in mind, guys. That is going to be a very big thing to look at here over the next couple weeks as we get closer to the next FOMC meeting coming up on, says it right here at the top, coming up, well, in 8 days, 4 hours, 9 minutes, blah, 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 on September 21st. So, going to be a pretty big deal on the 21st, guys. We're about 8 days away from there. So, pretty insane. But yeah, pretty insane that we're pricing in a 100 basis point increase now. That is pretty bad. 18% chance. CPI, that's just, I cannot believe the way these stocks are falling down from this. Brutal. But here we go. Here goes that SPY starting to slow down a little bit. SPY is starting to actually settle down, though, guys. Kind of like what I was saying at the beginning of the stream. I was kind of waiting for the SPY to start to stabilize a little bit, / to go flat a little. We're starting to actually see that happen here. So I'm curious if the SPY will end up holding down here around this big support or not, because I will say 401 is pretty big on the SPY, guys. I know everyone's probably eyeing up $400 even, but it's still looking very hot there. Keisha says, when the market is down, don't frown, average in, and you will win. I'll take it. Let's go. I love that. That's great. Elias says, hey, thanks, Mike. Awesome. Thank you guys for hyping up Elias today. That's awesome in there. Glad to see him winning on all those puts. That's insane to see that. That is insane, but yeah, Elliot says, Tom, when is the good time to pick a SPY puts, please? Let's see. Honestly, today, Mike, I don't think it's going to be the best play to necessarily play puts here. I still feel like the market can go down here today, so, puts might be the way to go, but honestly, I would just probably wait for another drop down below like 478 down here, which is a pretty big support, just under 401. If I see a drop under that, then I feel like it might be a good time to pick up a quick scalp on him, Elias. But if you don't see that drop, I would not force any more puts today just because of how much the market's down. I would not be surprised. Like, for example, if SPY came back up and retested like 406, I think that would be an amazing move today. And I think that is possible for the SPY to come up at least to test 404 or 403.75 here. I think that's definitely doable at some point. But yeah, George says SPY 401 does seem like a strong support on the 1 hour. Yeah, it is. It definitely is a strong support, George. Looking at that on the 1 hour. I will say, though, supports don't always matter in these type of crazy market conditions, but it is holding up today. So it is holding up so far for us. So it is holding or playing out well now off of that support. We'll have to see if that support can hold though as the day goes on or not, because that will be a big level to look at. So good job, George, and thanks for the question, Elias. I think that's nice. Xbox says, good morning, Tom and everyone else. How are we doing today? You know, Xbox, some people are doing better than others. You know, Elias is doing great with his puts. He had a ton of puts yesterday. I know some people are doing, some people aren't doing the best. I'm sure a lot of stocks are down for a lot of people, but hey, I'm glad you guys are winning on the puts, which is nice. Earlier, Matt said Zoom puts look nice. Let's see where Zoom ended up. Yeah, it still fell down a little bit, but we need more downwards movement. We need more downwards movement, I think, to get into some nice intraday plays here. I'm not sure we're going to see more big drops or not, but there goes that SPY. Let's see Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. Whoa, actually looking at Apple, guys, Apple looks like it's about to break down below support at like 158.70. That's actually a pretty big level from this week. From when we gapped up in pre-market yesterday, we might start to fill that gap back down to like 158 even, or, you know, 157.50. That'd be very interesting. Neighbor Jay, hey, good morning, neighbor. Says good morning, guys and girls. Yeah, good morning. Thanks for joining up here today. Neighbor, if you're looking at any stocks, just let me know what you're watching. But right now, we are eyeing up Apple. It just broke below its low of this morning, moving lower. I'm sure that's going to push the SPY down a little bit more. Microsoft's making new lows today too, guys. So there we go. We have the big stocks falling down. SPY's back down around that low. If we start to fall under 401, like 80 in a big way, we might start to see some pretty big drops here out of the market. So eye up this big support here, guys. We'll have to see if it can hold or not. But with the way Apple and everything's falling, it might end up going a little bit lower. And like I said before, I'm still kind of waiting for an intraday pop back up. But you have to play the market how the market comes. And if it keeps going down, then we're just going to have to try to play that momentum. But yep, there we go with Apple. Market doesn't always do what you want, and that's what I really like to try to stress that to people, is that sometimes you have to change. Like, for example, even if I want the market up today, or, you know, if I'm even looking for an intraday pop back, I might have to change my strat if I see it start to fall back down. George says, planning to grab a few Microsoft shares at 256 long term. Nice. Let's see, 256 on Microsoft. Yeah, we're actually not too far away. Really close to that low. Sorry about that, guys. Had to have a quick cough there. But yeah, that's nice though, George. 256 on Microsoft does not sound bad. It has a nice longer term level, so I'm glad to see you eyeing that up. Definitely not a bad move there. But yeah, let me know what stocks you guys are watching. Are you guys trading anything down today? Besides Elias, of course. Hopefully you guys are looking at some nice plays. Like Microsoft, like I said, is still breaking lower. Consistently on the 1 minute, this thing has been falling down lately. There goes Apple. Tesla. Tesla's actually holding up a little bit. Tesla's having a nice little recovery intraday, so nice there. I mean, it's falling off now on the 1 minute, but so far today, Tesla's held up a lot better than Microsoft and Apple, which I find interesting. Neighbor says they got their eyes on SPY and Apple. Nice. That's kind of what I've been doing, just switching between SPY, Apple, and Microsoft right here. Because it is interesting, like Microsoft and Apple are continuing lower, but SPY just keeps holding up here at 401. So I'm eyeing up this support very closely. That support is playing out huge today, guys. So it's holding out very well. Drake says, hey, today Is today a good time to average in or wait a couple more days for the drop? You know, today I don't feel like is a bad day to average in, but what I will say, Drake, is that if you're looking at a lot of these stocks like Meta, Disney, stocks like that, they are down a lot today and they're still falling off. I would say it's probably best to pick some up today and then some up, like you said, over the next couple days too, Drake. Like, honestly, if you're going to get, like, let's say you're targeting 100 shares, it might not be a bad idea to buy 10 shares like every other day, or 10 shares a week or something like that. Might not be bad, honestly. So we'll have to see how it ends up playing out, but I feel like on a lot of these stocks, you averaging in now is a good time to start, Drake. These stocks are at very low levels. A lot of their price to sales ratios are getting attractive now, which is nice, and we're starting to finally see some good valuations in the market. But we are seeing downwards movement, which sucks. But in the end, though, it's not the worst. It's not the worst movement ever. Like, for example, when I still look at SPY, the drop today is terrible, of course, right? But then you go look at the daily chart, and yeah, sure, the drop's terrible. But when you look at SPY over the past few days, it's really not that bad, given how the SPY's been moving. Let's go back to that 1 hour chart though and look at that trend line again. I will say, guys, this purple trend line down here is holding up quite well on the SPY. We've had 2 bounces now off of it after the first initial bounce, and I'm curious to see if on this downtrend, if we're going to hold up above this pink trend line or not. I have a feeling we might hold above it, but I'm curious to see how close we get back to the trend line. Because that would be a pretty big drop still down there at 395. Yeah, like Mike said, never frown, average down. That's right. That's a really good way to go. I think that's the way to say it right there. But yeah, Drake, I would say just average in slowly over the next few weeks and you'll be in a pretty good position. But while I was talking, guys, SPY broke lower. We broke below 401. There we go. I actually missed the damn breakthrough there over the past 2 minutes. This one would have had to have been a quick scalp if you guys saw that first initial breakdown. But there we go, guys. The SPY's moving a little bit lower on that breakdown below 401. We're honestly already down below 400 now. So we already had a big, nice 1 point drop back down. I will say I'm not expecting too much more movement below 400, guys. That's just my own thoughts here today. Obviously, it could still keep going down, but I don't think below 400 we're going to see too much more movement. We might see some type of big sell-off come in, which would be insane, but I don't know. Right now, I hope 400 holds up a little bit, but we'll have to see. 401 was a huge level there, obviously, like we talked about. Elliot says, what do you guys think about the oil plays? Honestly, I kind of like them. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the oil plays. I feel like oil has done so well over the past 6 months to a year. If we continue to see the market drop and oil keeps popping back up, it might not be a bad way to go over the next couple months. I will say, though, it's not my favorite setup just because oil is so high right now that it worries me because we are just so high over the past couple years that I feel like oil might start to pull back just for the sake of it being too high. But, at some point, these big guys like Buffett and a lot of these hedge funds and stuff like that are going to start taking profits at some point here. So that's one of my big worries with these oil plays is, all these big guys starting to take big profits on them. And some of these people own like millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of these oil plays. Yeah, I like oil. Personally, I like it, especially for hedges in the shorter term. So like if we start to see oil pop up and SPY keeps going down for the next couple days, it'll be a pretty good hedge play there. Yeah, SPY is having trouble at 400 though, guys. At least momentarily it did. I love that term, though. I love that. Never frown, average down. That's one of my favorite terms out there. Love it. Yeah, crazy price action today, guys. I'm going to eye up my watch list here really quickly. It looks like SPXS is one of the main things moving up today, of course. Like I said before, guys, this will go up as the market drops. it's not following volatility like UVXY is. It's actually following the SPY more directly. But I've seen some days where UVXY will fall, but this actually ends up kind of going up as the SPY went down. So I've seen the SPXS have some pretty nice moves up as the SPY drops. So this one up, I like it better than UVXY or any of those plays that follow VIX. I used to love UVXY, VXX, and stocks like that, but whenever you can trade something that's like almost not directly correlated, but more correlated to the SPY, then I think it's something a lot better. It is still a 3x bear ETF, so you got to keep in mind SPXS is going to be volatile, but if you catch it at the right time, it should be fairly close to UVXY, if not better, like I said. BYND, Beyond Meat, falling down. My watch list today, guys, is so red. I only have a few stocks green, so let's check them out. Rivian, guys, is actually back in the green. Like, what? What? I cannot believe Rivian's back up a green, guys. That is insane. Wow, that's insane. Rivian, guys, is still going up. Is there any news with Rivian, guys? Let's check this out. RIVN today. Yeah, a lot of these analysts are saying that their partnership with Mercedes is very important for the EV maker. That's cool. That's big to hear. Dang. That is pretty good news, guys. That partnership was pretty big. I know they're going to be making electric vans for Mercedes, and it's going to be pretty cool. Now, keep in mind, these vans are not going to say Rivian all over them, but it's still a good deal for Rivian. They're still going to be Mercedes vans, of course. Just with a lot of Rivian technology built in. Let's see this. Tangi says, because every Mercedes partnership goes so well. Yeah, I don't know, Tangi. I don't know too much about partnerships with Mercedes, but what I will say is that Mercedes is one hell of a car company. One hell of a car company. One of the best out there, at least one of the most well-known. Even if you don't like Mercedes, you still have to give them the respect, I think, that that they deserve, especially like Mercedes, BMW, Audi. Cars like that are just, they just exude luxury. And they're just, everybody knows them. George says LI. Are they doing well? Let's see. LI Auto. Wow. Wow, really nice. LI. We'll take that. It says LI is red today, but no, there we go. It updated 2.3% into the green. That is really nice with LI. Wow. That's big. Tangi says, yeah, Mercedes will make the money. Rivian will get the shaft. I hope not, Tangy, but hey, hey, it's good to see Rivian moving up off it, right? I'll take the nice green movement at least. The daily on Rivian's not bad. I mean, it's looking a lot better than a lot of other stocks are recently, at least. But yeah, I feel you there. I hope the deal goes better than what you're projecting. Rivian will get the shaft. They probably will. Drake says DraftKings popping from its bottom from low of the day. Let's see. DraftKings. Wow. DraftKings in the green? What's going on? There we go, guys. Hey, we'll take that. That's awesome. I wonder how some of these clean energy plays like Enphase, Run, FSLR. There we go. There we go, guys. They're coming back. These growth stocks are doing a lot better than like Meta and Rivian and all those stocks. Wow. Wow, Meta. Meta took a huge tumble from yesterday to today. Down 6.7%. Gosh. That is brutal. Zuckerberg does have a pretty big announcement coming up October 11th for Meta, which is going to be interesting for him. But yeah, that is a brutal, brutal drop in the short term. Wow. They're going to make new recent lows here soon. That's going to be nice. Booshing off says, dude, I don't know if I could say that name anymore. But thanks for joining up. Booshing off says DNA is holding up quite nice. DNA, let's see. Yeah, it is holding up pretty well. This is a very low price type of healthcare stock slash growth stock though, so it's probably going to move more like the growth plays are today, which is what I'm seeing with it. It looks a lot more like DraftKings or Neo or something like that compared to Disney or Meta or something. Square's looking pretty good here though. Starting to form a good little bottom, like it's coming back up slightly. This is nice. On my watch list, I'm noticing Palantir's moving, AMC. Need to see some good setups today, though. I'm not seeing any setups that like I absolutely love, for playing or anything like that, though, which bothers me a little bit. I want to see some nice stock setups here. SPY's still just sitting here really close to 400. Really close, just kind of sitting there. SPY. Come on, SPY. It's holding at 400 pretty well here. Pretty well. I'm seeing a lot of these growth plays popping back up. I'm curious. Are we going to start to move back up a little bit? I am curious of it. It doesn't look like Meta's going to move up, but maybe some other nice growth plays might, like Lucid. Rivian's still back up in the green, breaking out the new weekly highs. Look at this. Rivian's breaking out the new weekly highs. What a nice breakout. Up above $39, $39.37 now on Rivian, guys. This is an underrated stock today. Whether you like the news or you hate the news, hey, it's moving. It is moving. We'll take it. We'll take that. Do you know what else is moving? Is DWAC. DWAC. This is Truth Social, isn't it? I think this is the Truth Social stock, if I'm not mistaken. GM's coming back green. Ford. Yeah, Ford don't really look the best. Yeah, Ford's not looking the best, guys, unfortunately. Run. Ticker RUN. Wow. I can't believe these growth plays are coming back up into the green, guys. Like, what the heck is happening here? That drop this morning was so brutal. I did not expect these stocks to get back green. Maybe go back up a little bit, but never get back into the green. Frequent says, ouch, took a loss on AMD. Dang, that's not good. Sorry to hear that, Frequent. Said they lost 51, but oh well, done for today. Dang, Frequent, sorry to hear that. Were you trying to play AMD calls? $51. Neighbor says bear flag on the SPY 1 minute. Let's go see it. Oh, kind of see what you're saying here. I kind of feel what you're saying with the bear flag. Let's draw it up. Okay. This drawing is not wanting to work. There we go. Yeah, I kind of see that. Of course, I draw it, now it's going to fly up. There goes SPY, though, guys, right off of, well, I guess I should say 399.80, but really close to 400 there. Wow. I will say, guys, I've had these levels on my chart since before today, so I've had this level at 399.80 for a while. Note, I did not have it right at 400. I literally had it at 399.80 for a reason. And that's where it touched. That is right where it touched. So I think that's pretty interesting to see SPY touch right on that 399.80 level. That, of course, you know, has been on the chart for a while. Love these levels on here. Rico Need says no puts, but I have a rule. If I'm in the red $35 loss, then I'm out. Wow, okay, Frequent. Nice, I like that rule. You're limiting your risk, which is nice. That's really nice. I'm glad you have some type of strategy at least going in. That's good. A lot of people just trade blind, you know, so I'm glad that you have a max loss there in your mind. I will say though, Frequent, sometimes I'm sure, you know, sometimes I'm sure that's a tough way to trade, but it all depends on which type of options you're getting in. You know what I'm saying? If you get like a $500 option, a $35 move is going to be so minuscule. But that's why you look at the pricing and you trade your strikes accordingly. But yeah, nice Frequent. Glad. Oh man, sorry guys. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I still have the COVID. It still comes up and surprises me here every once in a while. But sorry about that. But yeah, SPY here it bounced off 400 or 399.80. Now it's coming back up a little bit. We moved right back up to 401. Now we're moving back down. That's funny. Yeah, Frequent says I can always jump back in if the next setup is good. Yeah, that's a good point, Frequent, and that's one of my favorite things actually. I'm really glad you trade that way rather than letting your losses run too long. That's a really good way to go. I'm really glad you said that cuz yeah, that's really good cuz you might miss the move sometimes and then it might just barely stop you out or something, then start to go right back the opposite direction. And yeah, like you said, sometimes re-entering is needed. So thanks for saying that. That way it didn't seem as bad. Booshing off. I still want to call you bouncing. Booshing off says MVIS is taking off. MVIS. Microvision. Yeah, I actually heard about this one this morning. Didn't they have some news or something come out with MVIS? Thought I saw something. Let me go check it out. It says Microvision's LiDAR solution supported on NVIDIA Drive autonomous vehicle platform. Nice. That's actually really good to hear in my opinion. I think that's awesome actually. And I love that, guys. I think that all this stuff with the automation and like automatic driving and stuff like that is extremely needed. And I think LiDAR is a really smart way to go. Now, a lot of people, like Elon Musk included, have came out in the past and said that LiDAR is not as good as people think, or I know Elon said some stuff negatively about LiDAR. Now, for people who don't know what LiDAR is, imagine radar. Okay, radar. It's pretty much like radar, except instead of using like rays, like radioactive waves and stuff like that to find, your targets, it's using lasers. So it's pretty much like shooting out a whole bunch of lasers, and the lasers go, and for example, like it'll know cars are in front of you because these lasers are hitting the cars. Now, I don't know exactly why some people are against LiDAR for self-driving stuff, because personally, I feel like that would help a lot. But nonetheless, Elon and a few other people have came out against it before. But I will say that I really think LiDAR is needed. And in my opinion, why not have it? If you're going to make self-driving cars, I would want every piece of technology on my self-driving car. I would want LiDAR. I would want radar. I would want some type of camera system like Elon has. I'd want all of it. I wouldn't want to skimp out just because I don't think LiDAR is good or something. I'm sure there's some cases where LiDAR sees stuff that something else isn't seeing, or, something like that. But I didn't mean to go off into a whole tangent about LiDAR and self-driving, but figured I'd say it because I think it's a big deal. Whenever self-driving comes into play, I would want to be as safe as possible. And yeah, whether you're using lasers or anything, I want it to be safe. Hey, appreciate it, Frequent. He says, feel better, dude. I appreciate it, Frequent. Yeah, it's been a rough past couple weeks. I will say though, feeling a lot better the past 2 days. So that's great to hear. I do feel a lot better, so I appreciate that. But Sometimes the cough sneaks up on me a little bit, the good old COVID hack. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining up today, of course. Thank you, Mike, Tangy, Keisha, George, Jamie, Tangy Man, Elias, Bill W, Kenya, Booshing Off, Frequent, Drake. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Seriously, I do, of course. Hunter, thanks for joining up today. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you guys have any other stocks, are you looking at anything else here? I think a lot of other stocks are moving today. But yeah, just let me know what other stocks you want to see. Drake says, other than Meta, any other stocks to average in? You know, there's actually a lot, Drake. So Meta is one of my favorites, of course. So, of course, I'll mention them. I think Disney will be a really good one to average into here over the next couple of months. Especially if the market keeps falling. Disney will probably be a really nice one to look at. So I'm eyeing up Disney as well. I think it would be smart to probably diversify and look at some cruise lines or airlines as well. Like AAL, CCL, maybe Boeing even too, BA. Yeah, like those types of stocks I feel like will be really good over the next few months to average in as well. What else am I looking at here? I have a lot, actually. Netflix is another good one that I think getting in down here at the bottom would be smart. SWBI or Smith & Wesson will be a good average into, I think, as well. Now, this one is going down a lot recently, which is very interesting. But nonetheless, though, I think that'll be a good one to eye up. I do like casino stocks still, like Penn Gaming. I think that'll be nice, along with like CZR, maybe even MGM if you want to get a safer one. MGM does not look too bad actually here compared to most stocks. ZR, not CSR. There we go. Yeah, I like averaging into a lot of plays down here. Honestly, Zoom's one. Here's Zoom at the bottom. I will say Zoom is not my favorite, but Mike likes Zoom a lot. I think Hunter likes Zoom a lot too. So they really like those ones more than myself. So I figured I'd mention those. Oh, as far as averaging in, guys, cannot forget some of my favorites down here. Nvidia and AMD. Those are some of my favorite stocks as well to average into. I think Nvidia to me is one of the best stocks for the future. It's just Nvidia is a crazy stock. You know, it can go up a lot, and it has in the past. So you got to keep that in mind. It's a volatile play, but I think Nvidia and AMD will be two very smart stocks to get into over the next 3 months as well, especially if the market keeps falling off. I think those stocks will be some of the best ones to eye up and get into. Let's see what we got going. So some plays that are really falling off today. Unity. Wow, 10% to the downside today. Terrible drop for Unity there. That sucks. Look at that 5-minute chart of Unity. That is brutal. Wow. Cannot believe it's down that much, actually. Meta. Fastly, Asana, ASAN. Dang. Hey, Booshing Off says, "What's up, Hunter?" Shout out to Hunter. Yeah, Hunter was in here earlier. Booshing. He's always busy though, usually in the morning. But yeah, I hope he's still in here. Frequent says, "Do you think Meta is overextended down? Too late to jump in?" No, I don't think it's too late to jump in, Frequent. I think you could jump in still on Meta. Oh, you're saying jump in on a play to the downside. Yeah, I would say be careful playing it down today, just because it's already down close to some big supports. If it moves lower than this today, I'd be pretty surprised, but it could definitely happen. But yeah, I would say be careful of it today. I think it'll be a careful one to look at. Probably tough. Drake says Hunter really likes WBD, Warner Bros. Let's check it out, WBD. I know this stock has been one that's been terrible this year. I don't know, WBD. I don't know. It's not my favorite, but, you know, if Hunter likes it, you know, everybody likes different plays. I guess we could say it's not my favorite, but I'm glad it's holding up well. I bet they probably have some decent fundamentals going on, but looking at their stock, it's just terrible. Like what's up with this thing? That was insane the way it moved up. Forgot exactly what happened. It moved up with something else though. Tangi says, check this out. $288 million outflow from the NYSE. $583 million inflow to NASDAQ. When there's been net outflow from NASDAQ for most of the past 6 months, this might be the bottom-ish. I hope it is. That'd be really nice if that's the case, but yeah, I have no idea. Where'd you get those numbers at, Tangi? That's pretty cool. Let's see, falling down. Unfortunately, QQQ looks like it wants to come down and test like 290 or something. Can't believe the NASDAQ's now under $300 again. That's insane. Down below 300 again. Wow. That is a bad drop on the NASDAQ. I hope 300 is the bottom, though, Tangi. That'd be really nice if 300 held up. Or somewhere really close. That'd be awesome, but... dang, that is a big drop down. The NASDAQ looks like Meta today, guys. As I was speaking, though, it actually just broke lower. So, for all my momentum players out there, you might want to go ahead and look at it down. I don't know, Tangi. I could see it going a lot lower. I could see it going a lot lower. Especially given when you look at like a multi-year chart. Ooh. Then it looks brutal. Brutal. Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining up today. I really do. It's been a crazy day, of course. We've seen the NASDAQ go crazy with the SPY and a lot of other stocks. It's been an insane week here. Tangi says, tell me this doesn't scream big money shoving around the market, though. Yeah, I mean, it definitely does scream big money, but at the same time, retail traders are the more fearful of the traders, so we usually see max fear come into the public sector. But yeah, I feel big money is playing a big role in this, of course, obviously, with the pre-market move. Those algos played a huge role early on. That was early on is usually when them algos hit. With the market open, I don't think it's as bad now, but man, brutal though. Brutal drop early on. Hey, guys, the bear flag is actually playing out perfectly. If you guys are looking for a bearish play, it's playing out perfectly. It actually just had another big move down. SPY new low of day. Perfectly confirmed off of it like twice here. actually as well. Who talked about this earlier? Who talked about this on the SPY? Let's see. Somebody asked about this. I gotta find it now. Neighbor Jay, you hit this on the head, I think. Neighbor Jay said, bear flag on the SPY 1 minute. And I drew it out. We popped up out of that flag momentarily, but those confirmations off the flag to the downside here were huge. And look at right here where my cursor is. All these wicks right here were really telling. I mean, whenever you see intraday price action, you see wicks like right where my cursor is, that usually shows you're by some type of big resistance level or support or some type of wall of orders or something like that. So very interesting to see all those wicks happen, those nice confirmations, and then now we're moving lower. I think that's a really nice kind of breakdown and looks like a pretty good little play there. So nice job, neighbor. That's a really good little pickup, I think there. Nice eyes. Raymond says AMD buy at $72. That would be awesome. 72. I hope we get there. Yeah, that's that low. Man, if we get all the way back down to there, I'd be worried about it going lower. But yeah, I'm talking. I'm thinking about buying it up somewhere down there too, Raymond. I think that's a good buy. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all joining up today. Seriously, it's been a pretty good stream so far today. I feel like we've looked at a lot of stocks, a lot of big, nice support levels, resistances, and stuff like that. I feel like there could have been some pretty good opportunities to play the market today as well, to the upside and the downside, honestly. Like, look at all these growth plays, the way they popped up momentarily. Some of those plays up could have been good. Obviously, playing to the downside on SPY probably would have been the way today. But honestly, since SPY opened, it's been pretty flat. It's been moving down. But now that we're seeing this big breakdown, I'm kind of a little bit happier with the movement. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Seriously, have a great rest of your day. And as always, I'll be in the Discord. If you have any profits or anything like that you'd love to share, post them up in the profits channel on there. I'd love to see them and hype you guys up. So yeah, have a good one, guys. I appreciate it.